Does this look familiar to you, this posture? Whether it's being on a computer, being on your phone, even reading things like in paper, magazines, books, or just being at a desk, at a school desk, reading, writing, and doing schoolwork. This posture is so prevalent today, and you can see it all around. People on their phone like this, and people that just have this curved posture. This is poor posture, but most specifically we call this forward head posture. As the head travels forward, it collapses the front of the body and can cause many different things like chronic fatigue, headaches, migraines, neck pain, shoulder and mid-back pain, lower back pain, among many other things. So sometimes it feels like a lot of effort to really get up and back here. And whether it's you trying this for yourself or you making sure that your kids have better posture, here are a few things that you can do, stretches and exercises that can help combat this forward posture, get us back here into this open, properly aligned, and properly stacked position for the best health moving forward. The first stretch we're going to do is the doorway stretch. The only thing you need for this is a doorway. So with this forward head posture position that we have here, everything in the front of the body is then collapsed and compressed. So to combat that, we want to bring you up and back here. So what we're going to do is find a doorway. You're going to have both of your arms at a 90-degree angle like this. Nice and upright. And what you're going to do is take a little step forward, pushing the chest forward and stretching the front of the body. Now what we don't want to do is push the head forward as we do this stretch. That's just further emphasizing the forward head posture that we're trying to combat. The idea is to really open up the front of the body as much as we can, stretch this area so that we can have this length so that coming back here isn't so much of a chore. So again, it looks like this. And from the side, it would look something like this. You can hold this stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds, maybe 30 to 45, or even a full minute if that works best for you. But we want to do this as much as we can through the day to combat this kind of flex forward position as much as we can. Working the back of the body is going to be really important. Through posture, we want to make sure that we're holding that good posture over time. It's not often that we're sitting at a desk for 5 minutes, then we get up and we never sit down again. Typically that poor posture happens after we're sitting for an hour, 2 hour, or prolonged periods of time. The muscles in the back of the body that hold us upright fatigue over time, bringing us to this position here. One of those areas is going to be the shoulder rolling forward. So what we can do is bring the shoulder back with external rotation exercises. So here I have a band. This is the thin strip bands. You can also use the thicker, smaller bands, whatever works better for you. And you can get these pretty cheap on Amazon. They'll make a big difference and it's worth spending a couple dollars to get these. So you're going to have this with your elbows bent at 90 degrees. And what you're going to do is take your shoulder through an external rotation, keeping your elbows in towards your hips and just moving the fists out like so. So from the front it looks like this. And what we're doing is working the back of the shoulders, bringing our bodies into external rotation and extension so we can hold this position here rather than this. A great exercise that can help combat forward head posture that's typically not talked about is called wall head planks. I don't know if that's what they're really called. That's what I call them. It works for me. And if you know a different name for it, let me know. So you want to find a wall. So here's a good wall for me. You're going to have everything up against the wall like so. So feet, butt, shoulders, and head. You're going to take one step forward with your feet. So now just the butt, the shoulders, and the head are on the wall. You're going to then raise the butt off the wall, raise the shoulders up off the wall, and you're going to be in this position right here. You don't want to have your chin super tucked. You also don't want to have the top of the head on the wall. That's kind of cheating. You want to have right below the cowlick, right where the back of the head is on the wall. If this is causing some discomfort, you can always put a towel behind your head. Sometimes head shapes can cause some discomfort with the hard wall behind you. But the idea here is we're working the back of the neck. So when the neck muscles in the back and the upper back muscles are either overstretched or easily fatigued, the head goes forward without a problem. If we can strengthen the back of these muscles, the back of the neck and the upper back, we can then hold our position of uprightness and proper posture for longer without having to effort so hard. Typically these muscles aren't really worked a lot, so this might be a little bit sore, stiff, and difficult at first, but you can do this for between 20 to 30 seconds at the beginning, and then you can hold this for as long as a minute to a minute and a half after you get a little bit more advanced. a few times a day in the beginning to maybe a couple times a week will work really good at working the back of the neck, which is an area that we typically aren't working. One of my favorite stretches to do for poor posture or for forward head posture is going to be thoracic extensions. It's one of my favorites because it feels so good. You need no equipment for it. The only thing you need is a countertop. So whether that's a desk at work, whether that's a countertop in the kitchen, or any platform that's either about hip high or about chest high works great. So based on how high it is, you can use different body parts to make this a little bit more intense or scale down to be a little bit easier for you. Now, with this poor posture going forward, our body's used to this position. So bringing ourselves up and back here can sometimes be a little bit stiff, and you'll definitely feel it with ease, okay? So if you have a high countertop, like so, you can just take your hands, put them on top, back your body up so that you can stick your head through your hands as your back stays nice and flat, and you push yourself forward into thoracic extension. If you want to make this a little bit more difficult, you can use the elbows. So on this lower counter here, I can put my elbows here and stick my head through, keeping my hands in like a prayer posture position, and this feels so good on my mid-back. This is one of those positions that might feel a little bit stiff, sore, and tight, so take it easy with this one. You can also go for longer periods of time without really having to try super hard to stick your head through and have like a really good stretch. So take this in stride with whatever feels better for you, but hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. If you start to feel any shoulder pain or have any shoulder injuries or issues, this one might not be the best for you, but you can always just give it a try and see how it feels. And if it starts to cause you any pain, stop and you can try something else. It's also really important to understand why we have this posture in the first place. So whether it's pervasive use of technology, desk workers, students, avid readers also have this position. We want to make sure that we're changing the external environment around us to then match the internal state that we're trying to make. So if you have those headaches, those neck pains, the mid-back pains, we want to make sure that we're changing what's around us to reflect the change that we want to make. So that could be getting a sit-stand desk. If you're an avid reader or you want to just kind of spend some time at the end of work scrolling, do it on your stomach so that you're up in this extended position. One of the most important things, aside from the exercises and stretches that we just showed you today, is going to be getting to the root cause of why we have this posture in the first place. Chiropractic is great at that. Not only do we have the ability to do posture evaluations, we can also perform spinal adjustments to make sure that the body is in the best position to be as upright, stable, and aligned as possible so that posture doesn't have to feel like so much of an effort. My name is Dr. Paul Fierro. I'm the sports and family chiropractor here at Koru Chiropractic. If you're in the Louisville, Colorado area or the surrounding towns, we'd love to see you here at Koru. If you're not in the area, I definitely recommend going to see a chiropractor because it can definitely make the posture situation of being upright and not having to effort so hard a lot easier for you.